Probably one of the most envied countries in the world right now is Canada, as far as our ability to maintain a standard of living and a standard of freedom that is envied throughout the world. And when you tell the young people that these things don't come cheaply, they don't hand them to you on a platter. You have to be prepared to defend that what you have. If someone says they're going to try and take it away from you, you have to stand up and defend that particular rights that's inherent in your upbringing. I don't think since the end of the war I've probably missed more than 2 Remembrance Day services. And the same with the reunion of the regiment and the serving people in the battalion and the ex-service people of the battalion. You still get a great deal of camaraderie and a sense of wanting to be there. It's not necessarily that someone tells you have to go to these things. It's that you want to be there.
The Maple Leaf unit is all women who have all got a military background in one way or the other. The girls are a fully registered unit, own unit, part of the ANAVET organization, and we are the only all-female unit left in Canada. We ring the bells for the Salvation Army, we sell poppies for the Poppy Fund. That's a very heartful thing that we do, selling those poppies, and especially wearing your uniform. People come up and they're fascinated with the uniform and the medals. What are they all about? So you have to make the kids understand that they are mine, and when I'm gone, my family can't wear them. I can't say that I was particularly patriotic before I went in the military, but every chance I get, I promote the military. And I'm very involved in the cadet program, which either it's the small ones, the 10 to 12 Navy League, or the 12 to 19 Sea Cadets for me, teaching these young ones to think on their feet and be good to their neighbors.
For just about 40 years, I've been on the color party of the Legion, and up to 3 years ago, I marched with them on November the 11th. I took the salute for the march past. Well, I think it's important to keep the people involved in it and to show the younger people that we're still remembering those who did lose their lives and fought.
It's nice that you can get up, you go to school, and nobody stops you, boys or girls. You have your own religion, and lots of times we just take it for granted. And why do we always just celebrate one day a year, like November the 11th? I don't know. I have people come up, and I appreciate it too. They say thank you for what you've done. I went to the cenotaph of my family every year. That's one of the things we always did, even to this day. My family all come and they support me in this way. And I do feel guilty because I came back, but I'm getting better at it. And odd enough, when I wear these medals now, yes, I am proud, and I thank my grandson for this. At this show and tell at school, and this goes back a number of years ago, and my grandson came up, he said, Grandpa, he says, we want you to come over to the school and talk to the kids, and not about, the gory stuff about, but he says it's about just being in the service. But he said, I want you to wear your medals. And I kind of looked at it. Now my medals were still in the box, those boxes. So he went in my bedroom, got them out, cleaned them all up, put them on. So every year I would put them on. He says, I'm proud of you, Grandpa. He says, you should be proud of yourself, So that kind of hit me the wrong way, but Yes, comes November 11th. Yeah, I still feel that little guilt. I was up at the Armistice Day, up at the Brent Center there. Yes, there's always a kind of a tear in my eye. But you know, I talk to other veterans, and they have the same. A lot of them have the same feeling that there's some guilt that we were here. But you know, if it wasn't for us coming back to tell them the story, something like that, who would? Who would? You know, I don't like to talk about the gory things. This is up in Germany at the Belsen camps. That we were going along there, and of course they were just liberated, and so I don't know how we ended up there, but we did in front of one of these big camps, and all we just seen it from the front. We seen the stacks of bodies and stuff like that, and remember this here British officer coming over to us where we stopped. Got us all together, and they said, "There's a reason why you entered this war. This is one good reason right here." And you hear stories about, you know, different things, that these things never happened. Well, they did happen. They did happen. They did happen to our Air Force guys when they were forced marched. They were forced when they did try to break out the camps and everything else, and they were shot at. These things did happen. There's always a reason. Not because you want to be a hero or patriotic and like that, but there was a job to be done.
If it had went on any longer, we would have lost the war. In my Churchill books over there, Churchill even said that the Germans had come out with a super submarine, twice as big as the other ones, could go faster underwater than our corvettes. Our Navy would be useless. And they had some super weapons. Now, had we lost that war, you and I, we wouldn't be sitting here today. We would have been slaves. They would just walk in and take over Canada, and that would be hell to pay then. But I just wish people would sort of appreciate, they don't have to go all out, just show a little respect on November the 11th and stuff like that. And they don't have to go over. Just understand what people did, what the ex-servicemen did. Yeah, I'm very proud of Saskatoon. They really go all out. The biggest indoor gathering in Canada. The biggest one is, of course, is outdoor one in Ottawa, and nobody shows up like the people of Saskatoon. This would be my hometown. I was born and raised here, and I'm very proud of this city.
All the top pilots that graduated usually ended up as instructors. A lot of people don't realize there are almost 5,000 killed in the British Commonwealth Air Training Plant. They're forgotten heroes, really, because they're the ones that trained us to go overseas. They spent hours and hours. And some people glorify war, embellish things that happened, but there's really is no glory in war. It's a terrible thing, but I think there are times when it's necessary to go to war. The emphasis is always on, usually on the military, their losses, but the civilians, they suffer equally. If you think of the Second World War, people don't realize there are almost 60 million people, as close as they can estimate, that lost their lives. And they were mostly civilians.
I guess I took a different view about a lot of things. Came home, and I guess I just realized how lucky I was to be alive, and how lucky I was to come back to a place like this after seeing rubble. Military are respected, and people remember. That's very, very important. When I was still serving, maybe, it wasn't, it didn't seem important to a lot of people, but that's not the case now. I think maybe because people realize what could happen. And maybe remembrance is partly thinking about the future. as well as remembrance.